too. At the moment, I'm working a lot on the field of burnout, and somehow everything is connected. So today's talk seems to be very connected to burnout. I mean, what can be a better reason to burnout than feeling of blockage? And I pass it to Sheila.
Thank you, Emmett. So I'm Sheila. I'm originally from Jamaica. Might as well use that. You said Israel, I say Jamaica. All right. And then I'm a TO practitioner, and I've been with the Uri for quite some time. And it's so good to be here and talking about stock. Yes, you know, stock, I don't know what it is, right? And we try to remove it with a lot of work, Uri on stock. And it's good to see what Lizandra is going to talk about today. So happy to be here. And I pass it to Jenny, who I invited.
Yes, glad to be here. I'm working out of New York. I'm originally from Wisconsin, but I'm a New Yorker as much as most everybody is. And yeah, interested in trying to get together to do some work with Sheila and talking about individual stuckedness. And I like to work with teams and to have team energy flow in constructive ways. So happy to be here.
And you're an academic.
And I'm an academic, yeah. I would say I've been a professor.
Hey.
And did we get everybody?
We have Lizandra.
Yeah, so I'm talking from Brazil. I'm super happy with the invitation to talk about this subject. I like to talk about that. I think it's not just talk, but also find practice or attitudes. I also like this word in front of life, you know, because blockades, events, everything can happen in life. And we need just to see what happened to find the best way to learn and to find a solution. No, and I think, well, we'll start talk about blockades now. I don't know if Yuri has the first question, but to conclude my checking, I'm really happy. I will be in France in next month for a workshop, specifically workshop about blockades, and I'm super happy. Thank you to stay here. I'm glad we found the time, because they find the hour and day was a big challenge, but I'm happy we could manage.
Thank you, Lizandra. And we are live on YouTube now, so people that are watching there or later, there is would be a way to subtitle, to put live subtitles. We'll check that you have it in Italian, in Portuguese. It's auto-translated, so it might have funny errors. Yeah, Lizandra, we met in Romania, and then in Paris, I think there was the COP21 in Paris, 2015. And you worked very closely with John at the time with bringing the work in different places. And I know that you also wrote about dragon dreaming research, dragon dreaming, and made a thesis about it. And now you're talking about blocks, and I know very little. Like in dragon dreaming, we speak about blocks, like what is the thing that block the project, like not going to say, but like the different stages. And so I guess I have two questions, just one more general. How did you come to dragon dreaming, and what influence it made to your work and life, and how it's what did you learn about blockages in that time, and how you feel to bring it forward in project?
Yeah, from your question we can enter in the story and why the blockades comes to for my work with dragon dreaming. When I am a psychotherapist, and work a lot with, I always work as a therapist, occupational therapist, and psychotherapist. And I was 15 years ago, started to investigate new possibilities to work with groups, because I really believe all kinds of therapy we do need to have effect in life. No, and what I found many times is people can realize things in therapy setting, but when go to life, the things doesn't change. And it was very uncomfortable for me. And my background from Sufism and Gurdjieff was a learning for me, that how I can put my learnings to make a better life, to be a better person. And in these reflections about how to be a better, effective psychotherapist, I started to investigate social technologies. That time was around 2007, 6. And well, many kinds of approaches now I was studying that time, but I didn't find someone really could hold this aspect of the person. And when I discovered Dragon Dream in 2010, I found this model really brilliant, because put there in just that circle, okay, the individual is dialoguing with the environment, the theory and the practice. It's a perfect approach to work with groups and work specifically in consultants, that I still working also in consultants and the enterprise. And I needed some kind of approach for that, a good model for that. And then I jumped in Dragon Dream and met John really soon, like it was my first meeting with John was 2011. And I exposed for him my reflections, my experience, and he invited, let's do things together. And then we are working together since then. It's how I entered in Dragon Dream. But then, and what happened with Blockages? Who knows? John knows he found the solutions and everything our projects will be a success. We just need to start to work and apply Dragon Dream. Part of me say, no, it's not possible. It's not possible because we are human beings. Like, we have desires, we have feelings, we are sometimes confused. And we can also block the process. It's not just to have a technique or a great philosophy will make the things happen automatically. And then I started this reflection, and to be honest, convincing John, we need to see the shadow of Dragon Dreaming. It will not be really perfect. Then I also bring examples of projects didn't happen really well, and then we started really go deeper on that to accept everything have minimal two sides. We have a great intention to make our project be a success. Yes, we have this intention, but sometimes I have a problem with my health. Sometimes I don't agree with someone. Sometimes things happen. And how I deal with that. So it was the starting to inspired me in this investigation. Also from my background, I see the challenge of people, the challenge of what happened. Then I see we need to work with that. And then start this investigation, and we work really well with that until the pandemic, which has huge blockage in the human being, and we need to find a way, and I think the what is really important when we talk about a crisis or blockage is assess one part in ourselves is the courage of to see what's not really well and what bring me some uncomfortable, you know, and when I accept that, the thing is open, you know, the possibility is open. I feel what don't let us to go and live our possibilities of life is we look just to one side and we frequently we see just what is good and bright and comfortable. And have other sides too. So I think the blockage is this invitation. Let's really open for our possibilities. Also what's not really totally good, but from these can have some learnings and they overcome things we also don't imagine we can overcome.
Yeah, thank you. I love this. First of all, thank you for putting it in context with your journey and meeting John and the story part. And I love very much you're talking about shadow and the things that don't work, and somehow maybe suggesting that the blockages wants to be seen in order to flow, to happen. So I guess maybe my question there is, what are the ways that you know that you are used to make seen the blockage, to hold the blockage? And maybe just another thing, the difference between the individual and working with an individual and a group, you know, because a project usually have a group, not just one person. Maybe there is the leader, you can work with the leader, but there is the group, and what are the ways there, you know, because maybe we have some practices, some experience working with individuals and block, but how we do this for groups?
I think depends of the context and the system we are working. But without doubt, each person needs to understand, they need to know themselves. Doesn't matter if it's a group or an organization or in whatever. Now, other day I was looking at advertisements. It's a course, post-degree course. The guy is saying how to teach leaders to see themselves. Because it's clear now that when the person has some inner work, know a little bit themselves, the patterns, the challenges, the traumas, know about myself, it helps everyone around. Help the project goes well, it's easy, the communication. So why I say that? Because I cannot say it's magic. It's not magic. It's we realize the things also depend of me. Because it's really common in projects, many projects. People say like the project is a problem, happened this with project, the project has a blockage, but who do the project? The people, a group of people. So if we don't see where is the point, the issue, each person, and it's become the issue of the group, I cannot just give you a technique and it will unblock it everything. I could say the technique is to put a mirror in front of me. Each person starts look yourself. How I can project in others my own expectation, and sometimes with a child expectation that the other will attend my demands. I'm not responsible for that. No, So to work with the group, of course, we can take techniques of how to unblock it, or also the dragon dreaming techniques can help a lot, but just techniques doesn't help. It's not enough, because some people, it's an individual will apply the technique. Depends on how I read that, how I read how to do this technique, and what is my attitude in front of that, in front of our goals, our purpose with that project. What is my commitment with that? If you don't pass through each person involved, it doesn't matter the approach or the technique. So to answer your question objectively, we can see, yes, the best planning management, we can find the best application to monitoring the progress, we can find all of that. But if each person involved doesn't want to do really, doesn't matter the technique.
It's very beautiful this that you're saying, because it's like to deal with the blockades, you have to do the first value of dragon dreaming, that is personal development.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to be also open to work and to grow as a person during the project if you really want to go through this process now of doing something in a group. That's really nice.
Totally. And I feel sometimes the words is really beautiful when we say like personal growth, or we say service, building community, or collaboration. I feel it's one of the best ways to personal growth is work in collaboration, because in this process you find the control. People want to control. People want to engage in competition. To have this experience in collaboration, collaborative projects, emerge aspects of human beings, and then we can see ourselves. Because I love collaborative projects, because we can really see what sometimes is not seen. I forgot the word. Is not seen. And then in my relation with others, emerge what's not what I'm trying to not see. But from relationship, we touch in that aspect. And the collaboration is amazing for that. And it's also one important and interesting point of view I have reflecting about. We not take so easy some words, so easy some concept, which is good concept. But what is behind? What is the challenge behind this concept? Collaborative projects, to work collaboratively, is not easy, definitely. It's hard. And when we accept that, make the thing easy. Because then we don't try to hold it to make sure it's easy. No, it's not. Because we confront aspects of it. When I am in relation with the others, I will see myself and what I need to improve. But maybe, because we said 40 minutes, maybe we could open for people also talking something, talking collaboration, maybe
Yes.
people have questions.
Yeah, also we had Sheila that raised her hand. So maybe you have a question or input.
Thank you for just wow. Okay. I believe in collaborative work, and it seemed like when one's working collaboratively, that we tend to draw from each other and feed on each other. And then even if there is a blockage, it like automatically, like the medicine for this, and it comes out automatically. I am wondering though, you talk about the concept and the idea, which sometimes it's a fear, we're pushed to it, we want, this is the concept that I have. On paper, I will have I want to do this. And I do the concept before I think about what the rest of the paper, what the rest of the action is gonna be like. But then I'm stuck there with this. It's like a thesis, you know, we do the thesis before we do the title most times, right? I don't know about anybody else. And I'm just wondering, not just stuck, do you find blockage with fear, or the blockage that is happening, it's a fear perhaps, and because you're a therapist also, something that is blocked from the past that we need to deal with in order to find out, why is it that I get blocked? I want to do this, and oh God, you know, this sort of thing. I hope we do some exercise for it.
Yeah, and just if someone is listening in Italian, I'll do a summary of the first part. Lizandra ha condiviso come è arrivato a lavorare su blocchi del lavoro con Dragon Dreaming e che ha conosciuto cercando a capire come portare l'aspetto sociale nel suo lavoro da psicologa. E dopo stavamo parlando Lizandra stava parlando di blocchi come aspetti del sé che non sono visti, e dopo tramite questo lavoro, vedendo i blocchi, si può in qualche modo creare un ambiente più sana per il progetto che è creato da individui. Con commenti da Giulia e Sheila adesso, che forse sento adesso porta un po' la tema della pratica, come praticare, no? So I feel Sheila is bringing the question of practice, like how do we practice? What is the practices that help us to not go in the same loop of the block? If what has been your experience of things that can work. And it could be also for other people or besides Lizandra. Anyone can give an answer. I can say that for me, I definitely recognize that I often get to the same point in different projects of the block. So it's like the same block every time. And I like this in provocation or invitation that you bring in terms of what is the block, where is the block in me? Like, what is it that I'm carrying that is blocked and that then reflected starts sort of exploding. I have this image of the block is sort of like an explosion of energy that can come from a dynamic, some kind of loop that is appearing. But then maybe the question that I'm confronted is what to do when the block emerges, you know, as a person or as a group. We also have Amit raised his hand.
Yes, Lizandra, my question to you, could you please define blockage? I mean, what do we actually mean when we say blockage? Thank you.
Perfect. It will be my next talk. And also we can connect with the comments of Sheila and Beauty. I see, well, have some reference. I think now it's not important now, but have some people working about that. So this concept we could say blockade and crisis is something similar. Blockade in concrete ways, well, something in front and stop at one flow, one process. You know, some stone in the river can block how the water will run in that river. And the crisis also creates some movement. Crisis is something more human thing, let's say, no? While the blockade can be relevant. But we can bring the concept of blockade in my process too. Something create a disturb, let's say, also crisis. It is a blockade. I'm writing an article about that, and also I'm using the two words, crisis or blockade, because it's something come and disturb, create some uncomfortable, something can make me stop. And it is also a great, great opportunity, because it's not the end of the process. Blockade or crisis is not a catastrophe. It's not. I think sometimes the fear of what happened in crisis or when something blocked, it's because have this sense of no way, have no solution. But no, we have solution. Because the crisis or blockade when emerge is to show something which we are not seeing. Sometimes because we are manipulating, try to, oh, I'm not see, it's happened there, I look for the direction, you know, these things. I think everyone have passed about something similar in your life, or in your personal life, or in your professional life in projects. Things happen. No, I don't look there, I don't look. But one moment that will be so strong and will emerge. So how we deal with blockage, with crisis? I can be smart, clever, and see when some signals come, I say, oh, it's good to look at that. So I don't see, and it go, until some moments can be a catastrophe. How to deal with blockades? Open your eyes and the feedback. It's the feedback. When something happens, it affects me, affects the group, affects the project. We have some signals of when something is happened, or in my life or in the project. Doesn't matter. Be attentive for the feedback. Sometimes a person say, Uri, look your behavior about that. You say, no, it's your eyes, not me. It's you, don't see. But the other person say again, the other person say, wow, why you don't listen and look for that? So it is a blockage, okay? Is something disturb a movement, a flow, and we can look at that or not. And it's brings some, let's call, behavior or feeling when the crisis and the blockades emerge. Can be a great sense of finding a guilt. It is one important aspect that emerge. We need to find who did what, who is responsible for that blockage or that problem. Emerge it, and it is also a good feedback, because it can emerge some crisis, some blockage can generate a conflict, because this aspect of crisis, everyone trying to find a solution, and one way really quick to find a solution is to say, have some guilt about that. Someone did that. And can be someone, but maybe it's more than that. Maybe it's have other points in this system we need to look. Also, there is some sense of catastrophe. There is no solution. There is no solution. It is when you use dragon dreaming perspective to put the blockage model. One of the blockades in plan stage will be eliminated alternatives. It is also some aspect of crisis and blockades. We eliminated them. There is no way, or there is just one way to do something, to solve the problem, or there is no way to solve the problem. Everyone will end. Everything will end. These kinds of things. No. And imagine a project which everyone is feeling this kind of feeling. Can come conflicts, can come, people can leave the project. So if you take a break, that is other aspects of crisis, but it's more, let's say, hard to see. It's better we're talking on the context, because can emerge some personal aspects and also from people it's looking, but we have different feelings and the pattern of feelings in crisis and blockades. And if we open space in the group for, yes, it happened in blockades. What is my pattern when I am in front of a crisis? Each person have different behavior in front of crisis. Some people it's more relax and they think about. Other people is more tense, have more tension, will create more conflicts, you know. And if you know each other, have space for people also recognize themselves, we can have more availability to deal with the issue and then find the best technique for that problem. Because one characteristic that we can say is the confusion. Of course, in the middle of the crisis will be confusion. You don't know what to do. And just to realize we don't know what to do, it's amazing. Amazing. Okay, we don't know what to do. Maybe we can ask help and help overcome that. So what do you realize about you, Uri? It's amazing. You recognize now, yes, every time it's the same blockage. Wow, it's amazing, because it's not easy to recognize it. Because sometimes you receive feedback and you don't see, you don't recognize. One moment, wow, yes, it's a pattern. Now we can open the door for find a way to be easy, or to ask help. So there is no magic solution. There is we look what is, be open for the possibilities, to be open for also the tension of the shadow, of the crisis. Okay, it's happening, and then we can find a way. Well, now in 2023, what we have is solution for everything, everything. But who see what is exactly the problem to find a solution? Makes me clear? Yeah. I think
Yes.
it is the point now. What the eyes is looking the issue, the problem, the crisis. Really see what is the issue to find the best solution.
Yeah, no, I feel you're coming back to this aspect of being seen, of the, which is actually one of the things that I come from theater background, also Amit and Sheila, and it's one of the things that I feel very strongly at theater as a technology, although it's a very old technology, of seeing something together of significance. So in the theater stage, and right now theater has expanded to a phenomenon that includes social media, politics, soccer, and a lot of things. When we see the thing on the stage, we're able to see the problem somehow in a looking glass, and potentially with this clever facilitation, we can even overcome. Sometimes it is seen in a way that actually reinforces the block. So this is something that depends on the style, and maybe in theory we talk about this is something also has to do with the internal condition. So the quality of the intervention depends on the inner quality of the one making the intervention. So it could be that, and in social parenting theater we talk about the quality of attention from the spectators for the one looking creates the action, so theater as a place where we witness, and in a way the witnessing is creating the action, and it's a maybe different vision from currently what we have about life or action, or like the actor is the important part, but actually could be that the audience is equally, if not more important, to generate the action. So that's what I'm taking from this. And Sheila, you was it Sheila? You raised your hand again.
I did. Lizandra, you mentioned the technique of dragon dreaming that one can call upon. You know, if it's a blockage that repeats itself.
Blockage of what? Sorry?
If it's a blockage, if it's a repetitive blockage, like Uri had mentioned earlier, I'm just, would it be the same technique, dragon dreaming, that one calls upon to undo that blockage, or in group, just do an open thing and say, you know, hey, this is what I'm working on, and this is what I want to bring to you, but here's the deal, I couldn't go any further than here, like we do with our methods. It seemed to me that for the dragon dreaming, it's in my conceptual stage when I can't move, I can't go any further than where I am. And I want to get miserable, and I'm ripping paper and I'm throwing it away. I don't do that unless I'm writing a book, that kind of a thing. But I don't know if this is a plan, Uri. Is it possible for you to give us a little demonstration of sorts? Is that okay to ask?
Yeah, well, it depends on Lizandra, but like she said, I think before, it's like, because we are live on YouTube and recorded, and maybe not all processes is easy to work on in such conditions. But yeah, maybe you can share just an overview. And again, I think Lizandra was sharing about, it's not the technique at all, but I think I appreciate. I also, just a comment from me, and maybe we move also for a closing because of the time. I really love dragon dreaming as a map, and I'm using some of the tools. I do feel that there is a general lack. I don't know what, Lizandra, what you think about a general lack in some of the tools in the stages of doing and celebrating. And what I feel is that I borrow from other methodologies in order to close the gap. And I take a lot from theater, and theater as awareness process, or theater as the art. That's from Auguste Dubois. Theater is the art of looking at ourselves. So, you know, the perspective of theater as a process of becoming aware collectively. So that's, I talk from that. I know Lizandra also take other approaches in, and I experienced that in our training, that she would bring other work in, which I think is important, because it's not in the book of dragon dreaming, but I think every facilitator brings something there Yeah.
Yeah, just to clarify, dragon dreaming, it's I know as a knowledge, because it's not just a method, but it's a knowledge to apply the creation and realization of collaborative projects. It's dragon dreaming. Then it has a philosophy from Paulo Freire, we know, from deep ecology, from system theory, Aboriginal culture, and it's what creates the philosophy and the collaborative philosophy of dragon dreaming, which also sustain the principles. It's, as Junior said, personal growth, building community, and serves the earth. So it holds the philosophy. The philosophy holds everything. It's about, when we say self-knowledge, I know about myself, is the basis for I build it and be myself, freedom, authentic. Then dragon dreaming have this philosophy to sustain the model. It's easy, and when you see, wow, dream, plan, do, and celebrate, it makes so much sense. And have the technique to apply, to put in practice all of that, the real collaboration. And what is amazing of dragon dreaming, it's, yes, it's open methodology. No? Sometimes you use some techniques of dreaming stage, depend of the facilitation. I like to say for people with training, is for I started to mix with other approaches, other techniques. It's good we know what you are doing. So you know dragon dreaming, then in workshops, probably you do the next week, you do the workshop, we will run the workshop, you learn dragon dreaming. You learn dragon dreaming, no? But when you apply to your project to facilitate, of course you can mix with your others, because dragon dreaming is open for that, and in some sense, dragon dreaming is teaching collaboration. Of course, it's open for collaboration with other approaches and the other philosophies. And dragon dreaming dialogue with many, many knowledge and the new technologies emerging now, of course. So it's just to bring the clarity of one thing, it's the dragon dreaming workshop. Other thing, it's we apply it in projects as a facilitating, or you apply. So it's dragon dreaming. In this study, and you see, as I said in the beginning, dragon dreaming is perfect. No, nothing in this life I think is perfect. You know, although everything's perfect. It's the paradox of life. Yeah? Then I started this investigation for, let's open the eyes to see, yes, that can happen. Some things can create a crisis in projects. Let's look at that. It's the blockages. Then I used the dragon dreaming model to analyze the blockages. Then we also have the blockages model and trust, because we need some intellectual, conceptual perspectives to help us the communication also, of course. And yes, as we say, each facilitator will manage it for people understand in different way, of course. And I love theater. I also have 5 years of theater, and I use a lot. I think everyone needs to be some years of theater, help a lot when we say this perspective of witness. Maybe if you will learn to be witness of life, of myself, can help a lot the projects and our life. You know, not to be so identified with everything or be strongly personal. You know, maybe if you give one step behind and watch, also myself, what's happening. And yes, let's more people to participate in theater and enter in there, and also to give space for our own personage, our own aspects, no? Theaters help a lot. Yeah. Is it? So it's good conversation. Thank you.
Yeah, maybe just to close, we can all say in one word or one image, if you feel like in the theater mode, something you're taking from this conversation. My gesture is something like that, and if you don't feel like using the image, you can just say an image, or you can do it together. Yeah.
I have an image.
Okay, go.
That came from like the release that can happen when you share your blockage with other people, another person, and the release that can happen.
Thank you.
Just maybe beautiful.
Thank you. Obrigado. Obrigado.
Obrigado.
Thank you.
Thank you. Really thank you for this lovely conversation and reflection. Nice to meet you, Sheila, Jenny, and Amit. Nice to meet you. And yeah, I hope we met again.
Yes. And yeah, I will. It's on YouTube. I will share the link and try to get subtitles to Italian and Portuguese and how many languages we can find. Yeah, thank you again, Lizandra and Junia, for setting up this conversation today. And we keep on this conversation, so maybe we'll do more. We did last week with Virgilio and some live stream on Instagram. We move between platform a bit to spread the word. Yes, and we have the course this weekend, and also mentioning Lisandra's course next month with blockages. We put the information in the comments, so you can look that up, and keep following also the work that is happening. And yeah, thank you everyone for the energy and time today.
Thank you, Richard.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for holding the space so we.
Thank you.
Bye. Have a
Bye.
very good
Thank
day.
you. Wish you all
you,
so
everybody.
much
Let me take a picture.
growing in your project.
Yes.
Take a picture.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Good. Thank you.